Entertain a motion to return to open session of our Committee of the Whole meeting.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
I have a motion second to go back into open session for our Committee of the Whole meeting. All in any discussion? All in favor, aye. Opposed, no. We're now in open session of the Committee of the Whole meeting for July. The chair would entertain a motion to adjourn the Committee of the Whole meeting.
Mr. Chairman, I make a go ahead.
Go ahead, you got it, motion.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion we adjourn Committee of the Whole meeting.
I have a motion
Second.
and a second to adjourn the Committee of the Whole meeting. Any discussion? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. The July meeting of the Committee of the Whole is adjourned. The Iredell-Statesville Schools Board of Education is now in regular session. It is our policy to begin a meeting with a moment of silence in which board members, staff, and guests may privately reflect in their own way on the business of this meeting and the most important thing in the world, our children. Please join me in a moment of silence. Thank you. This time, would you please stand, join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Before we move into our agenda, I would like to clarify our public comment sign-up procedure. To be more aligned with our policy, but allow everyone the opportunity to speak, we will keep our public sign-up sheet out front until we're ready to open the floor for comment. Anyone wishing to speak to the board must sign up prior to that time. There will be no additional sign-ups once public comment starts. While the board welcomes shareholders' views, please remember, comments should not be slanderous or personal in nature. To be fair to everyone, comments will be limited to 3 minutes. Thank you. Mr. Johnson, do we have any changes to our agenda?
Yes, sir. If you'll look at the non-consent agenda, we would like to remove item B, the approval of the South Iredell parking lot work that's taking place down there. We don't have those bids ready, but it's my understanding that this will not delay that project from being completed before school starts. We would also like to remove item E, the canine therapy dog for Presley School.
Yes, sir.
I also have an addendum to the personnel report, and I'd like to send that by your place right now for you.
While that's coming around, we had discussed moving A, lottery application, to the consent agenda. Is any objection from any board member on moving lottery application to consent agenda? If not, please move A, lottery application to consent agenda also. So we've made changes to our agenda by moving lottery applications to consent agenda, and we have marked out B, bid approval South Iredell parking lot, and we've marked out E, therapy canine for Presley Schools. Board members, are there any other changes to the agenda? The chair would entertain a motion to approve the agenda as amended.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
I have a motion second to approve the agenda as amended. Any discussion? All in favor, aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The agenda is approved as amended. And at this time, we will start with personnel. Dr. Lassane, thank you. Any comments, questions on the consent agenda personnel? If not, at this time, the chair would entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda, including the minutes for June 5 and June 12.
And item A.
And item A. Thank you.
I'll make a motion that we accept the consent agenda through item F, personnel B through F, and also the minutes from the committee of the whole meeting on June the 5th, and also the Board of Education meeting on June the 12th.
And the lottery application.
And the lottery application, yes.
Have a motion and a second.
Right,
He left G. All right, rephrase your motion, please, sir.
I sure will. I'd like to make a motion that we accept the consent agenda B through G, include the item moved for the lottery application, and also the two sets of board meeting minutes from the committee of the whole on June the 5th and the Board of Education on June the 12th.
Have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda as stated. Any further discussion? All in favor, aye. All opposed, no. Consent agenda is approved. Move into our non-consent agenda. We'll go into C. Dr. Melanie Taylor, proposed policies for second readings. These will have to have a vote tonight.
Policy 3470, alternative learning programs in schools. Policy changes are required. And this goes through and changes several things which actually aligns to the current process that we have in place already for a placement for students at alternative schools. The appeals process, it does tweak a little bit some of the processes which actually align with the processes that we've already talked about changing anyway. And those changes specifically are in regard to looking at a multidisciplinary team to approve the transfer for active placements instead of those are the three policies that I'm bringing forth for approval for second reading. We did table.
Over the month, have you had any comments or anyone? Nope. Any comments, questions of Dr. Taylor about policies number 1, 2, and 3?
So you tabled 4,400, and I did receive comments, and I thought that's why I didn't realize you were bringing it back up for review. You're not. Thank you. So we're not voting, we're removing the 4,400. Great. And I need to forward you the input or output that I've received on this one.
I think we just do the 3 together. Sounds like the best thing to do. The chair would entertain a motion to pass the policies 1310, 4002, 3410, 3470, 4305.
I'll make that motion that we accept those policies as written.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to accept the policies 1310/4002, policy 3410, policy number 3470/4305. I have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion on these items?
Will that item come back on attendance? Will it have to go back through a first reading and a second reading? Since you pulled it?
I think that would be your pleasure. I
It'll have to come back. Okay, thank you.
Got a motion and second on the floor. Any other discussion? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Thank you, Dr. Taylor. Before Mr. Armstrong gets there, Mr. Johnson, you had something. Were you going to wait till after we get to?
I can do that during my comments at the end.
That's where I was. Okay, very good. Thank you. Go ahead. Sorry, Mr. Armstrong. Just wanted clarification on something. Board members, do you have any questions, comments for Mr. Armstrong about policies number 5 through 13? If not, the chair would entertain a motion to pass policies listed as non-consent agenda number 5 through number 13.
Make the motion that we accept these policies as they are presented. 5 through the numbers there, 5 through 13. Do we need the numbers of the policy?
I went the short way and just went.
Well,
I chickened out on all those numbers, but
the numbers if you need them, but I mean, I think we know what they are.
do I have a second?
Second.
I've got a motion and a second to pass non-consent agendas numbers 5 through 13. You can see the policy numbers as they are listed in our agenda. Any discussion? If not, all in favor, aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Thank you, Mr. Armstrong. They pass. We now have a proposed policy up for the first reading. Dr. Lassane, policy number 79. This is a first reading, is not a voting matter. Board members, are there any questions or other comments to Dr. Lassane? Dr. Lassane, this will lay for a month now. You'll bring it back to us in August for a second reading. Thank you. I think I like this type of board meeting. We're rocking right along tonight. We may set a record. We're moving all the way down to F, Board Attorney Contract. We had a subcommittee to meet to recommend board contract. We discussed somewhat in the committee of the whole meeting. Chair would open the floor up for comments or motion.
I make a motion that we extend the contract to the attorney law firm of Couté and Long and so forth. The contract is for the school.
Second.
I think it's Pope McMillan.
Could we, just for clarification, can we use
Pope McMillan.
Still Pope McMillan.
Pope McMillan, PA?
Pope McMillan.
Pope McMillan, PA, and, okay.
My second.
Okay, I've got a motion to continue the board attorney contract with Pope McMillan, PA, and I have a second. Is there any further discussion?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. I was on the subcommittee with Mr. James and Mr. Kelly. I believe school law is a specialized entity, therefore the board should hire a firm with school law experience. I went to Ray Street June 9th and researched the past three fiscal years of invoices of legal fees, including Mr. Couté's firm as well as Tharrington Smith. I talked a lot about this during the committee of the whole. I'm not going to restate, but I'm a nurse, and I liken choosing an attorney, a school board attorney, to that of if I had a medical issue. My daughter is deaf, and we had a great pediatrician and primary care physician, but that physician was not. She was not specialized enough to address Molly's deafness or her hearing impairment. So we had to go to Chapel Hill, and we went to a specialist, an ENT who specializes in cochlear implants. And we made the drive to Chapel Hill, and we were committed. And I felt comfortable because I knew the physicians and that group of doctors could handle Molly's specialized medical issues. So I bring back, when we're talking about school law, I again say it's a specialty. I did my homework. I researched. I contacted the references of the Tharrington Smith law firm, who listed only school districts as their references. None of the other applicants issued all three references as school districts. One of the references that I called stated that they had used a local attorney for decades, but decided to use Tharrington. It was a hard sell, he said, but they did it, and they would highly recommend that. His comments were that they were easy to communicate with and were very good in the meetings. Initially, the board was concerned with the distance the attorney would be traveling. However, it has never been a problem. The second reference that called me back, she was an attorney herself as a board chair. She says, Tharrington Smith was good, and you get what you pay for. They, Tharrington Smith, have experts in all issues and are knowledge-based. You feel confident with their advice and recommendations. So I researched the cost. Fiscal year 2015, we paid Tharrington Smith $68,000. We paid Pope McMillan $62,000. Fiscal year 2016, we paid Tharrington Smith $33,000 plus, and we paid Pope McMillan $82,000 plus. In fiscal year 2017, and I was there on June 9th, so that's the amounts I got were up to that date. Tharrington Smith ISS had paid $11,846.54, and Pope McMillan we had paid $79,278.25. In my research, there were duplication of attorney services. I'm concerned about the waste of taxpayer monies with the duplication of services. Tharrington Smith charges in 6-minute increments, and according to my research, Pope McMillan charged in 20-minute increments, but Mr. Couttet corrected me. They, in the committee of the whole, they charge in 10-minute increments. Y'all,
Tenth of an hour.
oh, so you do 6-minute. That's not what I found out, but thank you for that. My opinion is that it will take less time for the legal advice from Tharrington Smith, school law experts. Therefore, the cost may not be an issue as some would have you think. Also, Mr. Couttet is the mayor of Statesville. Is it a conflict of interest for the mayor of Statesville to be the school board attorney? And I say the school board attorney. That's what the policy reads. Not the superintendent attorney or the district administration attorney. It's the school board attorney. So in closing, it is my recommendation that the board extend the board attorney contract. Since there is a vote, I would recommend my fellow board members to vote no. I would hope that the contract would go to Tharrington Smith law firm with the exception of bond forfeitures and local real estate legal issues. And in those two cases, I would recommend that those exceptions be awarded to Pope McMillan. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, my concern with this is that the law firm of Pope McMillan are also county commissioner's law firm. And most of the time there isn't conflict, but I do fear that there is conflict at times. So I don't think that it is good for us to have the same attorney or same law offices that represent our county commissioners. And having said that, I have to agree with Ms. Haynes. Thank you.
Any other comments? Other members of the committee, do you have any comments? Mr. Kelly? No comments.
Oh, I call for question.
Okay, call for question. Any other comments? We've got a motion to approve the board contract for Pope McMillan. If we've got the motion and the second on the floor, is there, with no further comments, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, no.
No.
Carries 5-2. Very good. Thank you. That finishes up on our non-consent agenda. We'll go to administrative part. Dr. Miller, do you have the sign-up sheet for me? Nothing on it. Boy, I tell you, I like the night we're rocking and rolling. No public comment. I'll open the floor for board member comments.
I got a couple.
Go ahead.
I just want to tell you, we just finished our 13th annual parade in Troutman, which was a very big success, and thank you to the school board and to the members here. Mr. Johnson was there, his grandchildren. Mr. Armstrong took pictures of me and Miss Dr. Iredell-Statesville, and didn't know you were taking pictures, but you snuck up on me. Mr. Page and Miss Haynes were both there. It was a very big success. And talking about working with people, our South Iredell Marine Corps showed up as our honor guard, along with the Mooresville honor guard from Mooresville Grade School District. One's Marine, one's Navy, and they combined and did a wonderful job. To tell you, it was great, and just love seeing those kids there. Mr. Rogers was there. He had 3-4 vehicles from CATS, and we didn't get our combined band this year like we did have, but we did have a band from the Marine Army. 208th out of Concord was there. So everybody was there. We appreciate it, and we're looking for the 14th annual next year. And y'all made Troutman the biggest little town for a little period of time. But and there's a lot of things going on in Troutman. They've got a lot of great people. So just want to thank y'all for that and the participation that the school system did. And I think there were a lot of kids there, and I think everybody had a pretty good time. Appreciate the ones that were here. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments? All right, then I'll give my 2 cents worth. I've been gone a lot of the month, but I come home and late yesterday, so I had a stack of newspapers. So I went through those, and there were several things that caught my eye I would like to bring up. First, I saw an article about the sheriff, the Iredell County Sheriff's Office Teen Academy. I think Cindy and I had the pleasure to be at their first graduation, which would be 3 years ago now. But this is a great effort by our sheriff's department to reach out to the young people from 13 to 16. It's free, and they hold classes on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and it will begin on July 18th. It's good to see our law enforcement really working for prevention and getting to know the kids and working with us. Brady and I had the opportunity to sit down with Sheriff Campbell last week for about an hour and a half, and it was just a good discussion about working together and what can we do for him and what they can do for us. And I felt real good about that, and I wanted to give the Sheriff's Department a attaboy on that. Speaking of Troutman, and I'm from Troutman, represent Troutman, so I'm a little biased. No, I'm a whole lot biased. But I thought this just represented our entire southern end of our county with the large article on The Verge. And it talked about 1,900 new homes in the Troutman jurisdiction area. It also talked about the new 301,000 square foot warehouse being built on Old Murdoch Road directly across from our career center. If you go anywhere in the southern end of the county now, building is going crazy. It is scary. I know Miss Bonham's from down there. She knows what I'm talking about. It is really scary. 1,900 homes in Troutman. Its population right now is only 2,500 people. So what's that going to do? So it's going to put it's getting to come to us. It's going to be very soon that we are going to be running out of seats. We're going to have to address these issues. Dr. Miller has our facilities task force hard at work, have a meeting Wednesday night. Is that correct, Dr. Miller? They're meeting, and it's a joint venture between Mitchell Community College and our partners in South of Mooresville City School District. And it's scary what we're going to have to do in the future. If you get a chance, be sure you read that. Now I was so excited. I don't know how my wife does it, but she got some kind of, I got a smartphone. I'm just not smart enough to use it, but she managed to. I was down on the coast, and she managed to get me a live broadcast of when they talked about the new Larkin development. I hope everybody knows what I'm talking about. Gosh, excellent. That was just exciting as it could be. That the new business area that is being opened up, it's over 1,000 acres. They're saying it could bring as much as 3,400 jobs. I called Mr. Johnson after I saw this because I was so excited. I said, Mr. Johnson, here's our catalyst. And he'll tell you, I'm an old CTE teacher, so I push career and technical education, and probably more than I should as a board member, but that's just what I do. this is our catalyst now, Mr. Johnson, for the school system to really push advanced manufacturing, pre-engineering, advanced electrical, advanced heating and air conditioning, welding, all the jobs that will be going along with these type of facilities, along with the new facilities being built in Troutman. We need workers. The businesses are coming, and it's our duty as a school system to be sure we can provide trained individuals for all these specialty jobs that will be coming along. And I think we've done a great job. I think we have the best CTE education in the state of North Carolina, maybe in the southeastern United States, maybe in the nation. I would compare our career center to any center in the nation. Let's take it up a notch, Mr. Johnson. That's my goal, to have people ready to go to work when Mr. Couttet brings in those new businesses. Thank you. I was just asked a question. We had a group from our Career Center go to the national skills competition in manicuring, and our first year having the class, our first year competing, they won the state and they finished 10th in the nation in the national championships. I was very proud of them, and that is a joint program with Mitchell Community College. Mr. Johnson, all yours.
Thank you, Mr. Page, board members. We're on the cusp of setting a record tonight for our school board meeting, less than an hour, and I'm not going to be the person who causes us not to meet a new record. I'll keep my comments very brief. Mr. Page, I do want to echo what you said about the good news that we've heard recently about the growth in our community and the economic development that's taking part on this behalf of our community. We had this discussion this morning with the staff in our admin team meeting about making sure that we customize instruction and the experience that our children have in our school system to make sure that every kid does have a career pathway that fits their aptitude and their ability, because these opportunities are coming to our community. And I understand with a great deal of responsibility on me and our district as a whole, that the community is counting on us to supply these workers. And so we had that discussion this morning, and we'll share in great detail with you later on about some of the ideas and the plans that we have. I thought it was really interesting, too, the property that the school system, the school board has purchased in recent years is strategically located to address the issues that you just brought up. And so I do applaud you for having the vision to purchase those pieces of property. And the Facilities Task Force is meeting. We'll be bringing forth recommendations to address the growth that we're seeing in the years ahead, and we'll take that to our community. Today I had the pleasure of meeting a principal from Beijing, and she brought several teachers with her, and so we went to tour some schools. And it's always fun to get to go into our buildings. They're just skeleton crews there now for the summer. But I warned them before we got there. I said, now desks are going to be sitting out in the hallways, and it's going to look like a bomb went off in the building. They said, we don't care. We just want to go see some of your schools. So as we were at Mount Morn this afternoon, I read on the marquee a sign that meant a lot to me. I'm going to pass it on to you guys tonight. Boa Nutting is infamous for the messages that she puts out there on that marquee. But the message today was, relax. We're exactly where we should be for the opening of school. And so my message to you is all 36 of our principals are working really, really hard this summer. They're going to hire approximately 100 new staff members. Dr. Lassane has already set up an orientation for them. Our custodial crews are scrubbing these buildings. Those floors are shining like a new penny. Our cafeteria folks are out there contracting and acquiring food services and hiring new workers there. Our maintenance department is out there repairing and fixing. The bus garage is servicing buses. Everybody's doing exactly what they should be. So for everybody, relax. We are exactly where we should be for this time of year, and school is going to open in about 5 weeks. So I just say kudos to all 2,700 of our employees. We do have a great staff, and while our kids are off and our teachers are off sharpening the saw this summer, just know that your staff is working really, really hard to be ready for the opening of school. The last thing that I would like to share tonight is earlier tonight you did approve the contract for our newest employee. And so Christy Ann Franco is with us tonight. Ms. Franco, I'm going to ask you to stand if you will, please. As you know, we had a vacancy at Woodland Heights Elementary School, the principal vacancy there. And so we pulled together a group of teachers and parents and conducted interviews over the last few weeks. And then we called in the finalists for those. And I'm very pleased tonight to announce the appointment of Ms. Franco as the new principal at Woodland Heights Elementary School. She's got a very, very impressive resume. She and her family are moving here from Arizona. As a matter of fact, I think they've already located in the community. And Christy, if I remember correctly, you have 2 children? 3 children. And I know they're going to attend Lake Norman and Lakeshore Middle. Right. So these folks have already put some roots down in our community. And I see this is your husband with you tonight? Yeah, Mr. Franco. And these folks behind you, who are they? Oh, wow. Okay. Well, thank you for coming tonight, too. It's great to get to meet the family. But let me tell you about this young lady. She is a graduate of the University of Arizona State University, 1995. She went on in 2002 to secure her master's degree in educational leadership from Arizona State University West. Now, when I look back here on the pages with honors and awards, I know that she's very smart. Listen to this. She won the Golden Key National Honor Society Award. She was a member of Kappa Delta Phi International Honor Society and Phi Kappa Phi National Honor Society. She was a national panelist for the Association of Elementary School Principals. She is a 1995 cum laude graduate of Arizona State University. 2000 through 2001, she was a Target School Scholarship recipient and a magna cum laude graduate of Arizona State University West when she got her master's degree. In 2014, she won the Dysart Heartbeat Award from her current school system. She's held a number of positions in elementary education during her career. She started out at Cartwright School District, where she was a teacher, at Holiday Park Elementary School from 1995 to 1999. Her next assignment was Peoria Unified School District. Did I pronounce that correctly? Where she was a teacher at Marshall Ranch Elementary School. She then went to Dysart, which is the school district that she works for now. And from 2007 through 2012, she was a teacher at Sunset Hills Elementary School. Her next assignment took her, same district, to Riverview Elementary School from 2012 to 2013, where she was an instructional growth teacher. Somewhere along the line, she got the bug to be an administrator, and so her next assignment, she was the Dean of Students at Mountain View Elementary School from 2013 to 2014. And then her next assignment was Assistant Principal at Mountain View Elementary from 2014 to 2015. Currently, or until just recently, Ms. Franco was the principal at Cimarron Springs Elementary School beginning in 2015 to the present. Again, her resume is very impressive and her references were impeccable, and both interview committees were extremely excited about this young lady coming in and taking over the leadership of Woodland Heights Elementary School. It's very clear that she is truly student-focused. She believes in making sure that every child in that school, their educational experience is personalized and customized to the individual need of that child. And so, Ms. Franco, we welcome you to the Iredell-Statesville schools. We welcome your family to our community, and we look forward to seeing the great things that you're going to do for the children under your leadership at Woodland Heights Elementary School. Thank you, and please join me in welcoming her. Thank you, Mr. Page.
Are there clones anywhere?
Yeah. Thank you and welcome to the neighborhood. Due to the need that the board will have to approve a contract for the South Iredell High School parking lot paving, the board will go into a recess until a date to be announced as soon as the bids are received. Rob, do you have any? You got a Kenny? The 19th.
Mr. Page, it would be best if you set it for a specific date and time,
well,
sir, if you can.
Let's get the calendar out then. Board members, we're getting ready to set a date to.
One of the dates on the board of
Oh my goodness.
next meeting is 7th and 14th.
When would? Well, I wanted to just wait because we won't sit here and argue forever.
That notice requirement, if you don't let the public know when it's going to be, then you want to do that, that's
Well,
fine.
we just have to notify them.
You have to give 48 hours notice.
Yeah.
If that's the case, then you can just adjourn this meeting and then
Well, that's
notice of the meeting.
all right. Do we have a board members? When would y'all? It'd be the 19th. When do you need it? As soon as possible. So we're saying the 20th.
What day of the week is that?
20th a Thursday? Would the 21st? Well, let's do it the 20th. We'd need a. No, we were supposed to have done it this. We were hoping to do it tonight because it needs to be done ASAP. So we're trying to. You sure it's going to be done 19th? So you'll have it ready for us on the 20th. You'll have it ready for. You want to do it the afternoon 19th? That night's a Wednesday night. Board members, can we 6 o'clock Wednesday night, the 19th?
I won't be here. I'll be in Raleigh commission meeting.
Anybody else going to be missing? Could be. That's 2 down. We could call you to, right, Charles?
Right.
Excuse me? Yeah, that's what I just said.
I can call in Wednesday night.
I may,
All individuals.
right. All right, well, let's go for the,
Call in.
Are you going to do this at ADR?
yes, ma'am, we'll do it at ADR. Is that any problem, Mr. Katay? All right, we will recess this meeting until Wednesday night, July 19th at 6 p.m. at ADR. That meeting will be only to approve the paving contracts for South Iredell High School, which were taken off the agenda. I want to make sure that everybody knows this was on our agenda for tonight. It was non-consent B. We are recessing until then, 6 p.m. on the 19th. Press, make sure you know what we're doing here, where we will reconvene only the purpose of approving the bid for the parking lot. Any objections? No, I'm serious because we're not advertising it, so we can only do that. You're going to want to do personnel, aren't you? All right. We need to. The only way we can do that is close this whole thing out and have an emergency meeting. Then we got to advertise it and all that. And we may have some people on the phone. If we're going to recess, the only thing we can do is the parking lot. How big an emergency are you? We're only talking about a week or so. You good with that, Mr. Shelton? All right. Everybody got me. We're going to recess until July 20th at 6 p.m. at the 19th. Golly, y'all are killing me here. My calendar went away. Let's try this again. Board is going to go into recess. We'll reconvene on July 19th at 6 p.m. at ADR for the sole purpose of approving the contract as listed in our non-consent agenda B tonight for the South Iredell High School parking lot. We're now in recess. Thank you.
Oh, now you do your announcements.
Oh, I've missed announcements.